Welcome back, everybody, to SJG Perspective. I'm putting up another little segment today, and you know what? I really wish, Jesus, for my Easter prayer, dear Jesus. I pray the rational could be with me. Oh, whoa!
Hey, mate.
Day, mate. Oh, good day, mate. Throw some shrimp on the bobby.
Yeah, how's it going there, y'all?
She's dying. I'll
So
tell you
who
what.
does a better accent? Am I a better American or is
You are not.
SJG a better Aussie?
We're
Because he's
terrible.
bloody terrible as an Aussie.
We're terrible, but either way, man. Hey, thank you for jumping on and joining me. We did a little call with you. You know what I really wanted to do today with you, Rational? I wanted to do a video for everybody just to enjoy and to see your bright and shiny, smiley day, what do they call it? 5-day shadow face. And I thought what we would do is a little...
Virtue Signal of the Week with Steven.
Yeah. So we're going to do Virtue Signal of the Week. Now, I don't know if you've read this article, but it's a doozy. So let's read through it, and you can just jump in with your little Australian accent anytime you have something important to say, which is, could, whatever. AOC calls for coronavirus reparations for black people. The U.S. Surgeon General, as we talked about in the last little rant, my Stevens rants, he gets busted for being pandering to the black people because he used some mama and papa language and he's a black dude. Yet you have this, whatever she is, Cuban, I don't even know what she is, dude, Jerseyite, who says again, we need, because of the coronavirus, because it affects more black people than anybody else, we need reparations for them because of the coronavirus. And that's not considered pandering. It says, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or occasionally Cortex, has called for coronavirus reparations for black and brown people, claiming the environmental racism is an underlying health condition. Yes, really. COVID deaths are disproportionately spiking in black and brown communities, tweeted the Democrat lawmaker. Why? Because of chronic toll redlining, environmental racism, wealth gap, etc. are underlying health conditions. Inequality is a comorbidity. Maybe I should have you read this. COVID relief should be drafted with a lens of reparations. COVID deaths are disproportionately spiking in black and brown communities. Why? Because the chronic death toll, redlining, environmental racism, wealth gap, etc. are underlying health conditions. Inequality is a comorbidity. COVID relief should be drafted with a lens of reparations. I read that twice because that was her tweet. We didn't make this up. AOC provided no source to substantiate the claim that the COVID-19 deaths were spiking in black and brown communities. Coronavirus deaths would naturally be higher in any densely populated area, nor did she explain how the environment can be racist. One of her supporters responded to the tweet by suggesting there was some kind of conspiracy among store owners in black areas not to enforce social distancing properly. This is great. You're going to love this tweet. It says, one of her followers, of course, it couldn't be anybody else. I've also noted that the stores that mostly serve white customers are enforcing social distancing more than those in some black and brown communities. I have no idea why. It is just something I noticed while driving past a grocery store in those areas. So here, I got a couple.
In other words, it's the fault of white people that black people aren't social distancing.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I had a couple thoughts on this. One of them. This is, number one, a subjective observation, not an empirically proven fact. Some dim-wit AOC or supporters driving by a store and goes, ooh, that store looks like they're not practicing black or social distancing and they're black and brown. There must be a conspiracy. And number two, could it also be that they're willfully ignoring recommendations? Maybe that's true. Maybe it's just they're like, me ain't gonna tell me what to do. She dying. Now, see, that was a redneck black accent. If you didn't know what that was. See, I'm not good at any accents unless Indian. I'm telling you, you're not driving by a store. You're telling me that it is very, very bad that these people are not social distancing. I'm better at that, man.
But there will not be any social distancing in my store.
I am telling you, I am running the 7-Eleven and you are going to be social distancing yourself very, 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 very well. Okay.
There is actually something to that. I don't know if you've seen the footage in Britain where, with all of the social distancing going on, there was a certain group of people whom we shall refer to as peaceful, who are gathering together in large groups
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
and so they are being disproportionately affected by the virus. Yeah, there might be something to actually keeping a little bit of a distance between you and other people during a pandemic. Um, we might be seeing some anecdotal evidence that is valid.
Yeah.
When you have people who are in a community that aren't social distancing are getting disproportionately affected, but that's not the fault of white people. That's the fault of people who aren't doing
Right.
what they should be doing.
Right. And people that are just being stupid. And that's not a racist comment. That's just, if you're going to do that and you're not going to, follow through on some of this recommendations right now, grudgingly, mind you, but you're not going to follow through, then you might catch the China virus. It's true.
I'm sure you'd probably find some good old white rednecks that'd be that wouldn't be social distancing as well, wouldn't you?
A lot of them.
I ain't gonna do no social distancing.
Shoot, dang, man! I'm gonna tell you what.
Dang.
However,
Listen, Cletus.
That was pretty good, actually. However, another respondent suggested that the black and brown people were deliberately flouting social distancing rules and putting themselves in greater risk. Is that it? Question mark. Or maybe they're not heeding the warnings and still filling up streets and local parks en masse. Maybe that's why. Another individual suggested that the black bodies work differently and that this was also the fault of white supremacy. Their bodies also work differently, and we blatantly ignore this in medicine and don't study the differences and then adjust treatment for white supremacy pervades everything. So number one, go ahead.
That could be true because, when I go to my Nazi meetings, what we do is we actually sit down and we design black people's bodies.
Exactly.
And then we make them into black people.
Yes.
Just so that they can get this virus.
And because we're more supreme than they are. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. We knock up some black people, just out in the backyard, every day.
Says a couple of my thoughts on this was we don't truly know yet what works and what doesn't. We're dealing with this on the fly. Everyone is. I mean, everyone's trying to figure out exactly what, how bad this is and how we deal with it. And is white supremacy going to be the go-to for everything? Everything? Even the coronavirus? It's white supremacy that did it. It's white supremacy, you racists. Occasionally, Cortex previously waded into the coronavirus debate by demanding the FDA relax rules on blood donation, right? So we're the fault, right? It's our fault. Yet, AOC said that the FDA should relax the rules on the blood donation, allowing homosexuals to donate blood despite greater risk of infection. The rule was subsequently relaxed. So here's the thing we look at here. We look at these morons, right? These morons that are talking about these kind of things and literally out of their bunghole. She's talking about this. Every and any and everything is a platform for them to signal their virtue. Oh, and I did have another one. So we're going to listen to one more segment of
Virtue Signal of the Week with Steven.
Yeah. This episode, same episode, I just forgot I had another article to cover. This one is from CNN, which suggests that wearing a face mask in public is racist. Were you aware? And we're not talking about white hoodies right now, Rational. We're just talking about actually wearing a face mask in public. Apparently, it's racist.
Makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. CNN has published a lengthy article suggesting that wearing a mask to the guard against coronavirus is racist due to African Americans not being able to wear them over fears that they'll be treated like criminals. Noting that the CDC has encouraged all Americans to wear face masks and fight against COVID. Well, now they did. In the beginning, they said the face masks don't work, so you need to save them for the doctors, because the doctors need them. So I don't understand those two realities being true at the same time, that they don't work, but doctors need them. Anyways, we won't go down that route. Noting the CDC has encouraged all Americans to wear face masks to fight against COVID-19, Trevor Logan, an economics professor at Ohio State University, says he will not be following this guidance. We have a lot of examples of the presumed criminality of black men in general. Logan, who presumably isn't knowledgeable about the FBI crime statistics, told CNN. And then we have the advice to go out in public in something that can certainly be read as being criminal or nefarious, particularly when applied to black men, he adds. noting how a black man wearing a face mask looks like almost every criminal sketch of any garden variety black suspect. That is hilarious.
I have never yet seen admittedly, I'm not in the US, but I've never yet seen an image of a criminal suspect that's wearing a surgical face mask
Yeah.
of any color.
CNN Fernando Alfonso III then referenced how on social media a number of people of color, activists, academics, and ordinary Americans expressed fears that homemade masks could exacerbate racial profiling and place blacks and Latinos in danger. In other words, the government advising Americans to wear face masks is discriminatory because blacks and Hispanics who wear them may be mistaken for criminals. Whether that is more closely related to institutional racism or the fact that black people and Hispanics are overrepresented in the crime statistics, I'll leave that to the readers to decide. Here's
It's
the thing.
the white people's fault that a black dude is paranoid.
Yeah.
That's what I took from that.
Yeah, it's white people's fault that everything. In this virtue signaling climate world we live in, it is always going to be the white man's fault. And that's just a fact of life. So do you have any words of Australian wisdom to add to this before we kill this video or we cut this video short?
No, not really, mate. I would just say to everybody, listen to everything, don't believe anything, and do your research. Keep an open mind on everything.
Listen to everything.
And don't blame the white man. Don't blame the white man.
Wait,
I know SJG is going to love that because I think SJG wants to blame the white man, but I'm saying, yeah, maybe not. Hold off. We don't know yet.
It's yeah, I know that's true. I do, huh? My little theory yet. Yeah, we haven't covered that yet on my. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's the yellow man's fault or the white man's fault, to be honest. But or maybe somewhere in the middle. But I guess time will tell. But so guys, we're just doing a couple little videos to get them out and to say hello. I had a show. I have a show that I want to do covering a whole bunch of stuff. I just need to get my thoughts collected on it. So I will get that out and up and out in a relatively short amount of time. But since I have Rational on, I'm going to do this for him. It has been another episode of SJG Perspective without fear of animals and or fear of animus. And we will talk to you later. Say goodbye, Rational.
Catch you later, y'all.
All right.